The house where the Bell family lives suddenly becomes haunted. It's really scary. One day in 1817, this originally nice house suddenly became unstable. The Bell family lived there, but they couldn't live in peace. The male owner was even tortured to death by ghosts. This is truly the most shocking ghost murder incident in American history. We don't know what caused the Bell family to be tormented by evil spirits. They don't know what kind of hatred makes this evil spirit haunt them and refuse to let go. Tonight, let us go back to the terrifying night 200 years ago and review the most ferocious ghost in American history, the Bell Witch Incident. The Bell family lived in Red River, Tennessee. They were a very devout Christian family. Father John is a church elder, and Mother Lucy has 8 children with them. They live on a large family farm, 320 acres. However, they were also slave owners and owned many black slaves. Because Tennessee was still a slave state at the time, it was normal for wealthy white landowning families like the Bell family to own slaves. By modern standards, the Bells were a popular and good family in the local community. They are generous, friendly, and hard-working people. They get along well with most of their neighbors. The Bell family lived an ordinary and happy life, but one day in 1817, everything changed. That day, John was walking through his cornfield. It was an ordinary inspection, until he noticed a strange creature standing in the cornfield. The creature had the body of a dog but the head of a rabbit. Its eyes were fixed on John Bell, and he was so frightened that he raised his shotgun and fired violently at the strange animal. The monster escaped, but John and his family's lives were turned upside down. At first, there were just some disturbing little terrors, such as inexplicable knocking sounds on the wall, children's quilts being overturned by invisible forces, strange voices speaking in the air, and a woman's cry heard in the middle of the night. But soon, this force that played tricks on the Bell family became more aggressive. The Bells and their children were troubled, but one daughter, Betsy, was particularly badly attacked. One night, Betsy suddenly screamed. Her parents were so frightened that they quickly entered her room to take a look. They saw Betsy's hair was disheveled and sweat poured out of her face. She looked very painful and could not speak for a moment. "Come." The Bells comforted Betsy, but the torturous night was still long. Betsy said there was a deafening scream in her ears, which almost tore her head apart, but the Bells did nothing. Not heard. From the next day, in order to save their daughter from the pain, they began to try to communicate, asking the mysterious power that tortured their daughter some questions, and asking the other party to knock on the wall to answer. "How many slaves do we have in our house?" The unknown voice knocked on the wall 9 times, which was the correct number. In the process, they realized that there really was a spirit body in their home. This spirit has evil intentions towards them and is getting stronger. Soon the spirit stopped knocking on the wall to communicate because it could speak directly. "Old Jack." The spirit called John this way, but there was no hint of intimacy in his words. This spirit seemed to be particularly malicious towards the male owner John, and soon after, John fell ill. He began to have difficulty swallowing, as if there was a rod stuck in his throat, and it was difficult to move his jaw and tongue. John went to the doctor several times with no improvement, and as time passed, he never once ate without choking. John's condition is getting worse and worse, and the power of the spirit is getting stronger and stronger. It will not only talk to the Bell family, but even distant relatives and friends who know the news of the haunting and are concerned about it, can also talk to the spirit. Moreover, the spirit body can always tell the family secrets of any stranger, which makes people surprised by the power of the spirit body. One of the friends seemed to have touched the hand of a spirit. Betsy has various strange scars on her body, which are suspected to be the work of spirits. The spirit body appeared vividly, making this Christian family who kept away from ghosts uneasy. People around them couldn't help but wonder, how could a spirit appear inexplicably and haunt the Bell family? Everyone tried hard to find out the answer from the spirit body and wanted to know the identity of the evil spirit. The spirit body easily confessed, "I am Kate Bates." Kate. Who is Baez Kate? Bates is a strange local woman who has 5 children with her husband. However, it is said that her husband has a hidden disease, so Kate will look for a lover everywhere. Kate's personality makes her unpopular with her neighbors. She often quarrels with others and has a habit of collecting brass. It is said that brass is the source of her magic and allows her to perform black magic. Yes, Kate is the witch in the hearts of the locals. If it were said that she had hurt the respected Bell family, no one would doubt its rationality. Although the spirit claims so, the real Kate. When Bates heard that he was accused of being a witch and evil spirit who had harmed the Bell family, he immediately shouted about his injustice and even came to the Bell family in person to explain his innocence. What is the truth? Is Kate innocent, or a practitioner of dark magic with evil intentions? The answer remains shrouded in mystery. In any case, the spirit body was called Kate from then on, and this Kate continued to torture and hurt John and Betsy's father and daughter, causing pain and humiliation to the Bell family. As time passed, the Bell family became increasingly miserable and even excommunicated. Although the church claimed that the reason for expelling John was due to his financial dispute with another brother Benjamin, everyone believed that it was actually because the Bell family was unfortunately haunted by the evil spirit Kate. The evil spirit Kate is particularly obsessed with the Bell family. She not only physically harms John and Betsy, and mentally tortures other family members, but she also saves them and takes care of them. She will warn the Bell children not to get close to the storm, and is particularly concerned about the health of the hostess Lucy. In contrast, she does not seem to hate Lucy and other children so much. She just likes to torture Betsy and hates John extremely. Betsy has a lover named Joshua. The relationship between the two is like a fairy couple. They have also received the blessings of each other's parents and are about to walk to the altar and commit to each other for life. However, the evil spirit Kate does not like this marriage. "You must not marry him." Evil Kate objected loudly in the room, as if she had the right to object. Unfortunately, she may not be a member of the Bell family, but she has the ability to cling to poor Betsy and Joshua, which is enough to ruin everything. No matter where the couple went, she would never let them go, always nagging in their ears, "You are not allowed to get married." No matter how steadfast love is, it cannot withstand the endless harassment of evil spirits. In 1821, Betsy ended her engagement with Joshua in pain, and the two could not stay together after all. Evil Kate, quite satisfied with the tragedy she caused. A year before Betsy and Joshua broke up, John had become seriously ill and unable to leave the house. The house was filled with the smell of sickness and dying, and ghostly voices echoed, calling "Old Jack, Old Jack." Evil Kate tortures John and almost achieves her goal. On December 20, 1820, John, who had fallen into a coma the day before, died. John's son, John Jr., found a strange small glass bottle on the floor containing a black liquid. Little John felt something was wrong, so he dropped 2 drops of black liquid and gave it to the cat at home to taste. The poor cat licked it, jumped into the air instantly, spun around half a circle, and finally died from the poison. It turns out that this bottle is extremely poisonous. "I fed old Jack a big mouthful of this stuff last night," and Evil Kate happily declared, "I've fixed him well." The evil spirit Kate frankly admitted that she was the murderer who poisoned John. However, because she was just an evil spirit with a voice, no one could bring her to court. Everyone could only bear the unfortunate consequences brought about by the evil spirit Kate, and watched helplessly as the evil spirit announced its farewell to John's widow Lucy in 1821. The evil spirit Kate left as she promised, but also said that she would come back in 7 years. In 1828, she also visited little John as she promised. This time, she promised to visit the direct descendants of the Bell family in 107 years, and 107 years after 1828 was 1935. Since the Bell family biography happened to be published in 1934, we do not know whether this visit in 1935 took place. The evil spirit Kate was called the Bell Witch by later generations. This name really made the victim Bell family miserable. Being haunted is painful enough, but to be named after Bell is too sad. The Bell family has endured many tragedies and strange looks from others because of the Bell Witch. It even attracted U.S. President Jackson to come to talk to the evil spirit. Jackson was usually fearless, but he could hardly resist the fear brought by the evil spirit, and finally left the Bell mansion. Since then, the Bell Witch has become the most terrifying ghost in the history of the United States. She can beat people to death, break up mandarin ducks, and even scare away the president. Few other ghosts can surpass her record. So, what is the origin of Bell Witch or Evil Kate? Why target the Bell family like this? Let's examine it in detail. The story of the Bell Witch was first recorded in the Chronicles of the Bell Witch published by author Ingram in 1894. He was good friends with Joel, the youngest son of the victim John, and after the death of the Bell family, he obtained the consent of descendants of relatives and wrote the legend he heard into this book. Another book, The Bell Witch, Mysterious Spirits, comes from Dr. Charles, a direct descendant of the Bell family. It records the stories passed down by the ancestors and was published in 1934. Since the material of these two books has a certain relationship with the Bell family, we may safely infer that although the story of the Bell Witch is not 100% true, it has been circulated and narrated among the Bell family and is not entirely malicious slander by others. However, that doesn't mean the existence of the Bell Witch has been confirmed. Many skeptics have doubted the authenticity of the Bell Witch, and they have used their critical skills to cast doubt on the story. After all, this kind of country legend can easily be exaggerated and difficult to verify, let alone a family legend from 200 years ago. Joe, a well-known paranormal skeptic, once suspected that the truth of the Enfield poltergeist incident was actually the victim's second daughter, Janet. In the Bell Witch incident, he also cast doubt on the story and often became the evil spirit attacks the girl, poor Betsy. Not only was Betsy often harassed and physically harmed by Kate, but she also lost her love and father in the end. She is a typical victim. Why should we doubt her? The reason is that the Bell Witch incident and the Enfield poltergeist incident are very similar. They are both typical poltergeist stories. The poltergeist bangs on the wall, moves the furniture, makes strange noises, and makes people feel scared. However, all these behaviors it can be a human trick. Betsy can be seen in many things in the Bell Witch. Betsy's screams and frights at night may have been an act of her own, or they may have been due to her poor physical and mental condition. The injuries on her arms and body may have been self-inflicted. The hoarse voice Kate has when talking to others is probably the product of Betsy's voice change. Based on these inferences, maybe Kate's voice that caused Betsy and her fiancé to break up was actually directed and performed by Betsy. If you believe these inferences, you will continue to deduce that John's death may have been due to the poisoning of his daughter. Could this be the truth behind the Bell Witch incident? A mentally disturbed young girl decides to create a ghost that haunts her family one day, harming herself and others. If this were the truth, it would be even scarier than the neighbor witch using supernatural powers to curse the Bell family, or the ghosts of death haunting them. Invisible ghosts have invisible malice hidden behind them. This is the creepiest part.